Hi guys, welcome to my channel. Um, so this is the next video on Jmeter. So there is already previously a video been uploaded for installing Jmeter. So if you are still having any problem or to know how to install Jmeter, please look over that video. If you like the video, please press the like button and please do subscribe to my channel. So today in this video, we are just going to look over what is a thread group and how we can record. So we are recording will be in a separate video, but this is like to step the initial base of recording, and we will see what all options we have in the thread group window. Okay. So this window which is opened on the Apache JMeter is something where we left in the last video. So to just start fresh, let me close the video JMeter and start a new session. Okay, so I'm closing the JMeter and I'm going to the bin file. So where I have the JMeter, I double click on the JMeter bat file and it's going to launch me and the JMeter user interfaces. Okay, so this is the look and feel. As we have said, we can change the view to any mode. So first we will rename the test plan. So it will be demo underscore test, which we will be using it. Okay. So I'm not going to add a global user defined variable like we can add it later. So the next step is, as I said, like there should be at least one thread groups which we need to create. So we'll go to right click on demo test, click on add, go to threads user and click on thread group. So you will see a geared thread group uh, which is placed at the bottom of our demo test plan. Okay. So what do we have here? We have a name on the thread group which we can say demo thread. We can rename it. We can add comments, which is the next column. Okay. So the most important thing in performance testing is the number of threads and the ramp up period. Okay, so number of threads in the sense it is the number of user whom you want, the virtual user count which you want to keep, and ramp up period is given in second, like how much seconds we want to ramp up the users, like after how many seconds you want the each user to ramp up to me go to the number of maximum virtual user. uh, and the loop count is like how many loops you want to run the execution. So we have an option known as infinite, which is here. So you can click on infinite. When you click on infinite, you need to forcefully stop the execution. So here you can see a stop icon be disabled, so or cancel icon. So shut down this is, so you need to manually stop if you choose the infinite option, or you can give the number of loop it needs to run. So we have the number of thread users, number of ramp up seconds, and we have the loop count. Okay, so same user on each iteration, we look over it. Like when we add users, we can look over it. So at the top, we have like the actions to be taken. So after a sampler error. Well, what is a sampler? So we'll see more on sampler. Like you can see here also it is there. We sampler. So sampler is as a overall you can see a small test or a action which we will be testing it. Okay, so what if a sampler fail? Like should we want to continue or stop the thread or stop the test or move to the next thread? So those options are available here to choose up. Okay, so in general, some small example like sampler can be a login button or a submit button, a username, entering a username into the field. So we can define the samplers, and samplers can be done added in two ways, like manually you can add it or you can record and add it. So like most of the paid tools, like where we have the options of recording, the same options we do have it in JMeter, or you can manually uh, write it how you want it. So we will look over all those, like how to add a samplers on a separate video and in more detailed manner. So here, so now we wanted to look on the threads. So I think we are now clear with what is one, how to give the number of virtual user, how to pick up the ramp up period and the loop count. So these are the three things which we'll be most frequently using. Okay. So in my earlier video, we clicked on right click on demo test add and we saw each, each of the elements, right? So we had thread, config element, listeners, timers, pre-process, post-process, assertions, and non-test element. So similarly, when I right click on the thread, we still have options like samplers, logical controllers, pre-processors, post-processors, assertions, which were already there, right? And timer is also here added. So we'll see each one of it, like listeners and all. So each test, basically, when we run a test, we will have a thread and we will have some listeners. So because listener is the test result, so we need to have thread to show how much count we want and be listener. And others are based on the requirement. We will have assertions or preprocessors or logic control. Logic controllers will still be there because when we record something, the user interfaces, we will be using logic control. So as I said, like when while recording, so we have controllers like if loop, while loop, and all. So we will start with the recording controller because first we'll look over how to record uh, uh, performance test cases and how to execute it. So to re- record a video, it's best practice to add a recording controller, and if I add it, it will come on the demo thread and choose what should be the name of the controller. So in case of this recording controller, right, so we can again, like it has a name option where we can name the controller. So our controllers will be basically divided into a kind of segment of how we want to record it. Like if you consider launching a URL, logging in and log out. Okay, so three separate controllers. So we'll create one to launch URL. So it will be launch underscore URL. We can add one controller, and again, like I'll add another controller, uh, which will say login, and we'll have another controller which we can say logout. So we'll add some samplers into each of this controller. Okay, so before that, if you see, there are options like clear or recorded sample. So if something is recorded, we'll just, and you don't want it, you can just click on it and all the samplers which are recorded for logout will be removed. Okay, so again, like if you click on the record controller, it also has, like, we can add samplers over here, and again it has recorders, preprocessors, post-processors, listeners, assertions. So you can see the number of things preprocessor, post-processors are getting repeated from the test plan through the thread and then to the controller as well. So it's like how you want to define the variables or processors, post processor, where you want to extract it. You can do it each layer by layer. Like you can do it internally within for each controller, or at the thread level, or at a test plan level. Okay. So, in order to record a video for, sorry, the performance test cases, you need a recording, right? So you'll right click on the test plan, go to add and go down to non-test elements and click on this test script recorder, which is HTTPS test script recorder. So it will record both HTTP and HTTPS. So we, if we click on it, we'll get this test script recorder window. Again, it has an option of renaming renaming the test script recorder, which you can do as you want it. So we are not going to change anything here. Okay. So now next what to do, like, so we need to set up the port and the domain which we want to record. Okay. So we will be seeing on how to set up the proxy port and domain in the next video, and we'll continue with recording the test script and execution, validation, assertion, everything in the upcoming videos. So thanks for watching. If you like my video, please click the like button and do subscribe to my channel. Thank you guys.